Hi everybody, so today I want to show you how to make a test tile that has a area for glaze and then also kind of already has like a cookie built into it. So we're going to end up using the Hardy board today. So this shouldn't get wet. Like you can put your clay on it, but if you spray it at the end of the period, it's going to soak up the water and then it's not going to do the thing for the rest of the classes. So don't spray the Hardy board, okay? But basically you're gonna roll out yourself a small slab. You only need a little bit of clay. This is plenty. I could make like 4 of them out of this. But you only need a little bit of clay. You're gonna set it on the Hardy board for 5 to 10 minutes, flip it over every so often. Your goal here is to get your clay stiffer so it's closer to leather hard, but still movable. So the other things that are on your table are a plaster mold, one of these little rolls of tape, a stamp, and one of these little templates, okay? So once your clay has been sitting on the Hardy board for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, and you can flip it over, and if it doesn't quite feel leather hard, that's okay. But you're gonna use the inside of the tape roll to cut a circle like this, and this you can just set right back on the Hardy board. Take like 2 seconds to get your clay boogies off and round out your edges. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be relatively okay. Now for this, you can just put your table code and initial on to the bottom. I have a nifty little stamp, so I'm going to add my stamp. If I do this while it's flat, it's a little bit easier. And then you're going to take this, you're going to be sharing this, so you only need it for a little bit. But you're going to take this plaster mold and you're going to take your little circle that you made and you're just going to push it so it matches flat against this flat area, and then you're going to match it all the way around. So you're pushing it flat and then just kind of gently pushing it down around the edge. Now your goal is to kind of get it as like kind of even as possible. If you're like, oh, it's super crooked, just scoot it over and squish it some more. So you're not trying to make this part flat, like you're not trying to smush it up against the thing. You still want this edge here, but you just want your clay to be in a little bowl shape like this. Okay, so you can see I didn't leave it on the mold for very long because I didn't need to. Okay, so now this is ready for the next bit. So the next bit is we are going to make our long piece where the glaze is actually going to go. The little cup is so we can catch any drippiness from the glaze. We're just gonna trim around. And remember, if you trim nicely, there's not as much cleanup, right? And I don't know about you, but I don't like doing extra work. So take 2, if you've cut nicely, it should literally take this long to smooth your edges on both sides. It should be like that, okay? Now, if you have a couple little funky spots, as long as most of it is smooth, it's okay. So now that I have this bit right here, I'm gonna use my stamp and I'm gonna stamp all the way down one side, like that. Now this, it can still bend a little bit, but if it's like super floppy, then you won't be able to do this next step. So you need it to be stiff enough where it can kind of hold its own shape, at least a little bit, because we're going to be attaching this to the inside of here. So we're going to mark it with our needle tool. We're going to score bigger than we think we need. So I marked all the way around and I'm scoring bigger. I'm going to make sure that I'm scoring really good. Remember, you want all the goobers. And then I'm also going to score on this side. Boop, 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 boop. Like that. And then a lot of you are using your tiny paintbrush. So if you're using your tiny paintbrush, you're gonna dip and drip, right? Dip and drip, dip and drip. Now, if you're using the big one, then you can still get it wet without having to take forever. So now that I have score, slip, now I'm gonna stick. So I'm gonna smush it together, and I wanna try to get it as straight up and down as possible, okay? All right. Now, if at this point it starts flopping over, then you did it too early. Okay, so if this starts to fold, just take this bit back off and stick it back on the Hardie board and let it get a little stiffer. Because if it's gonna like lean to the side or be crooked, that's not gonna work. Like it really has to be straight up and down, okay? So if it can stay straight up and down, then now you're done. So now when we go to glaze this, we're gonna add glaze onto the straight part. And if it drips, it's gonna be caught by this little tray. All right, thanks everybody.